What up, guys, and welcome back to the Overkill Underground. Here we are, episode 11 of the Survivor Series. What's going on, my man Lance? Here to join me again here.
Great to be
at
here,
the
Chaz.
Underground.
Holy shit.
Doug?
What? Hey,
holy shit.
ladies.
Survivor Nation?
Survivor Nation. Love to see you out there,
What
especially the
up?
ladies.
What an
What's up?
episode. What an episode.
It's a good episode, yeah.
Great episode.
Good episode. What did you like from the very beginning there?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Where did we? I mean, we started off night 27, and
you know what? I won't tell you what I liked. I'll tell you what I was a little disappointed in.
Let's hear it.
Here we go.
Let's hear it.
The fact that well, I already mentioned that English isn't Ty's first language,
Right.
so he really couldn't come back and say, "Hey, hold your jets, Jason. If I give him my idol, me and Aubrey go to the end, and I'm gonna get voted out here." I mean, we both have 2 votes. I'm talking last
right.
time.
He can't just squander away his idol.
Right. I can't give my idol away because I had 2 votes. Aubrey had 2 votes. We go back to a revote. They're going to vote me out. I can't get rid of my. Sorry,
Right.
Scott's going home. I mean, if English was his first language, am I the only one that ever seen this? Or, I mean,
No, I completely understand.
I think the numbers add up.
Right, and as we go, we obviously saw Scott get the blind side from last week.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
And we entered into this episode, and Jason's going through the realization that I just lost my damn idol.
Right.
Well,
I gave it over.
What?
The thing is gone now.
with villains, it's like
I'm
that
getting
the whole time.
I'm getting
Yeah.
screwed
We
left
just
and
saw
right.
his side. We saw his
Well,
side.
yeah.
We didn't hear really
Yeah.
Ty's
I mean,
side.
the villain is only as good as his bench, and he lost his bench.
I mean, for God's sake, even in the last episode, him and Scott were talking about cutting Ty loose, and Ty told Jason, "Hey, I knew you guys were going to probably cut me loose. You guys were growing tight."
He assumed as much, and he was correct.
Yeah.
And Jason holds it against him.
Yeah,
he's
holding it against
I
him.
saw
But
through you guys.
I think maybe if Jason does get voted out, he's going to go a little chink win. He should win the game. I think he'll win Jason's vote. Maybe.
You know,
I don't
but
know.
Jason's
Good possibility.
Going, he's
Good possibility.
Going to the top 3.
Couldn't be
but
that
we're gonna
vindictive.
skipping
Who's he going to give it
over
to?
him.
Aubrey?
Well,
Sydney?
no, right, yeah.
I
I mean,
mean-
it all depends. I mean, yeah, I could see
He
He
gave it
Jason.
to
outplayed me.
Sydney.
I could
The
see
little Asian
Jason
guy-
giving his vote over to Ty because they were
He outplayed me.
were in the
little Asian
alliance,
outplayed me.
and I think he gave him props for that though. He said as a game player that he did a great move.
He did. I think
Great
he
move,
did. He
and
did.
I mean he
He did.
respected him for the move. As a player in the game, he didn't respect that at all. Obviously,
Let me ask you a question about Jason. Anyway, for the first 10 episodes, I thought the guy was a complete asshole. But now that he's not, the big bully running the show, I kind of saw a little bit more of a fight and sympathetic, and maybe I
The
rooted
sympathy-
for him. Maybe
right.
I rooted
Oh,
for him.
don't let him get to you, Lance. That's terrible.
I rooted
don't
for
let
him
him
a
get
little
to
bit.
you. No,
I don't,
no, no.
I kind of didn't want him to go home. Not yet.
We're smarter
not
than
yet.
that out
It's
here.
fun to watch him because he is going to try to pull out that sympathy card, and the thing about that is he's going to do it well.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to have a
Oh,
real
yeah.
advantage because he's a smooth talker. He's going to come out and play that card, and he's going to look for advantages that he can get in any way possible. And by being a good talker, that's obviously going to be a route that he's going to want to take. And now, too, he's still got Julia with him,
Well, at this point, yeah.
at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And
at
so
the
they're
beginning
going-
of the episode, yeah.
And
right, at
we,
the beginning of the episode, he's got Julia.
Right, because we got to go over the reward or whatever.
Absolutely,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
And we saw also, at the beginning of this.
Well, we saw all our alliances.
with Aubrey too. She's on top of the world. She's thinking
yeah.
that
Her and Sydney.
she's thinking that this is it now. I'm
Her
final.
and Sydney are running
I'm one
the
of the
game.
final 3 for
Yeah,
sure. Right.
yeah.
Her and Sydney are feeling
Sydney's
like
running
this
the
is
show.
our game. We got this thing all. It's in the bag. This
We're
is
taking
nothing
Joe
now.
with us.
Right. Yeah, we're taking Joe. Nobody's going to vote for Joe.
Yeah.
He's done nothing throughout the entire
Who is
game pretty
Joe?
much. Yeah, right. Nobody even knows who,
Guy's
who
on
the guy
vacation.
is.
I
For
know
God's
more
sake.
about Mark the chicken than I do Joe. Like, I know Mark way better. Like, Mark should have his own. He's got more FaceTime
He's
than
got
Joe
more
does.
He does.
FaceTime. I
He
was
does.
just gonna
I
say
mean,
that.
like, goodness gracious.
You ain't kidding.
I know the chicken, The $1 million
Hashtag
cut.
Mark
Yeah, that's
the-
right. We enter in.
Hashtag $1 million cut.
We
Mark the chicken. The
we
$1
enter
million
in.
cut.
We
Everybody
enter-
wants to
yeah,
eat
right.
Mark, but nobody wants to eat Joe. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe just is
Yep.
this
Get-
scroungy old man.
Get rid of him.
Well, hey, Mark's a little bit younger than Joe. Joe's 71.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to chew that 71-year-old meat.
No,
no, that's gross.
That is gross.
It's been out in the sun for a while.
We enter into day 28, though. We
Yeah.
come in, and of course, we're introduced to #MarkTheChicken.
Yeah.
Yes,
And we get
awesome
we get
hashtag.
into
Did you
know
see the look on the chicken's face when they said they were going to eat him? He was like, "No."
yeah, that right. They
Turn
they
it
got,
around.
they got the perfect edit to throw in there.
I
Chicken's
know.
getting scared. He's listening,
Yeah.
listening to every word. Right.
Protect me, Ty. Protect me. Yeah, but the reward was cool, right? We had the
We got
little.
the-
We had the little.
The
what, rope?
obstacle. You had to go get the rings.
Mhm.
You had to toss the rings up on a hook.
Well, that was probably
Pretty
first-
good reward. Not a
First
bad
of all, I
reward.
thought that was
Yeah.
probably the
It
coolest
was
reward.
cool. It was cool. Not bad.
Yeah.
I think a helicopter ride's pretty damn cool.
Well, the actual reward itself, the
Yeah.
challenge of it was it was a good challenge. It
Oh,
really,
yeah.
you know,
The
you
reward,
kind
I
of had
thought,
to
well, that was the
go
best
through.
reward.
It was a more physical challenge than anything, but the reward itself
Was wonderful.
Was absolutely awesome. I mean, I could not even imagine. And it even looked like in that helicopter ride they got around that island was. I mean, they were taking swoops and kind of going a little crazy. You know, I mean, it looked like it was
good.
a real blast.
Aubrey was a good pick by the gals, I think.
Oh,
Aubrey
well,
was
sure.
a
For
solidifying
Michelle.
alliance.
It was a good pick by Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
done
Michelle's move. She was
that.
like, hey, because she already knew Sydney was tight with her. So she's like, hey, how about her?
She
Because-
She
and
had to
then-
draw
and
him
then-
in.
And then her reasoning, because she's the only one that hasn't eaten yet. That was very good
Yeah.
on Michelle's part.
Yeah.
And then when she was over there on the reward, she mingled very well with him and stayed cool instead of a little.
She didn't get
scatter-
crazy,
Yeah,
right.
and she didn't get the real scattery and start talking strategy. She was just
She hung out.
kind of let it happen.
She
You
hung
know
out.
what?
Probably after a couple glasses of wine.
But at the
Right?
reward, yeah, but
Right.
at the reward, Michelle left, right? And Aubrey is talking to Sydney,
by themselves.
and they're like, "We'll vote out Michelle next." Did they say that?
No.
They didn't say anything about voting
Too
out
high,
Michelle
man.
in there.
Too high. No, they didn't say anything.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they talked about voting
They,
out.
I was thinking maybe they were trying to get her to vote with them or something, but they
no,
were.
they
I
were
could've
talking
sworn
about
they-
her being cool. And they were like,
Really?
we probably could use
Okay.
her later.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, and then bringing
She's cool.
Aubrey, you get Joe's vote.
Well, they already had Joe.
Right. You are you know,
And they
smile
drew
for
Ty in.
Aubrey, bring her to the fried chicken thing,
And they drew
helicopter
Ty
ride,
in.
Yeah.
and you bring in Joe. Ty is Ty's
How about-
becoming
how about when they're
oblivious
sitting
to this
there?
political game.
How about when they're sitting there and Sydney brings up the fact about how about we blindside Ty? And Aubrey shot that down pretty quick, which she
Yeah.
was like, no, not yet.
Yeah.
And if Debbie was there, Debbie would have said, no, this is what I want to do. But Sydney's a real smart player, man. She was like, okay, no, not yet. No, not yet. Okay,
Right.
I'll still let you run the show. She's going to eventually
Yeah.
backstab Aubrey if she
Absolutely.
wants to win the game.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Sydney's a real
Better-
smooth player in the
Better
fact
not
that
take her to the end.
Sydney doesn't say too much. You know, she's pretty conservative about what she's blabbing.
Right.
And we've seen her do it a little bit, but she's had to make moves. It's part of
She's-
her game.
No, that's a
For
good
the
point.
most part, she's been
At this
a
point,
good
you're looking at, I'm
strategic
taking
player.
Joe
Even from the
and who?
beginning. From the beginning, she's been a strategic
Right,
player in
right.
that way, where she's
Every
kept her
player in
mouth
the
shut
game.
when she needed to.
But-
Every player in the game's going, I can take Joe and somebody else to the end.
But-
who can I take to the end that I can beat? That's the way you better be playing this game.
And
right
everybody
now.
is now.
But building on
Except
Charlie's
Ty.
point,
Except Ty.
Charlie made a great point there. Is Sydney is playing what me and you, Lance, we talk about all the time. If we were out in the island, we'd go, what do you guys have in mind? Not what do I have in mind.
Right.
What do you guys have in mind? She did that twice tonight.
Yep.
She did it
Right.
with Jason
Yep.
and she did it with Aubrey. She
Right.
didn't come out and go, we need to vote out this person. She came out and she said, what do you have in mind?
And it's
Right.
Key
important.
moves.
Important to be a
Big
good
time.
listener.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. She's great at
You got
listening.
two of these and one of these.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You
I mean,
better be doing
yeah.
twice as much listening as you are talking.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly
So then they come
one of
back.
Sydney's strategies.
They come back, right, and Jason's on his back, and
Jason was playing
you
it
know,
cool.
I want to mention too, real
You know.
quick, during the reward, how about the fact that Jason sat out? I mean, you talk about
Awesome.
that sucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That sucks.
And he actually thought he was going to get picked to go with him. He was so like depressed, like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't get picked.
I can't believe that he thought
Yeah.
he might. You could tell that he thought he might actually
Right.
have a
because
chance.
I
to
didn't
get picked. It's not
Yeah.
not even
Because I
an
didn't have a
option
chance,
at that time.
maybe.
He had his little puppy dog face
Yeah.
on, like, oh
Right.
man, what a scumbag. But then they
Well, that was a great pick by them anyway, picking Aubrey.
Oh,
because if you
absolutely,
pick anybody else, you pick Julia, Aubrey's not going to trust Sydney.
Right.
If you pick, they could have picked Joe, I guess, and that would have
Yeah,
been. But why do you want to take Joe? I
No,
mean,
Joe's
I'd rather take
worthless.
Mark the Chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
No
Might as
kidding.
well take him. Ty would be jealous. And
he would.
you could eat Mark.
But
they had
Ty's
fried
not-
chicken for the
Ty's
meal.
not going to get any sympathy. I don't know. For the first time, I kind of feel a little bad that I don't think he has a chance, as big as a chance to win as I thought
Who,
before.
Ty?
Yeah.
But he's playing the game. This is what I
He
don't get
is.
about people. He's playing the game.
I told you before.
And
it
people,
all
like,
comes
think
to
he's
that
bad.
closing speech. When you close your speech, all Ty's going to come to the table with
Yeah,
is,
he's gotta be
I'm
one
a
of-
survivor. This is my story. But if somebody goes there, somebody like a Jason, and says, "Listen, you backstabbed and you were such an evil player throughout the game." Jason's got a sharp tongue. He'll be able to
Manipulate the jury.
Maybe
he can
maybe
sell himself.
Sell
is-
himself and manipulate the jury that
This
Ty's
is
the bad guy.
This is
and
assuming
he voted everybody
right.
out.
This is assuming that Jason and Ty make it to the final three.
That is.
It's a big
And
assumption.
Ty,
It
We're
is.
not
Ty
even
has
to
a
immunity.
Ty has a chance, but I'll tell you what. Also, this
He's
is
got-
one of the
he's-
biggest parts of the game that puts people in the end is the fact that there's still chance for immunity. That's a huge part of this.
Right.
Winning that immunity is the biggest thing you can do at this point in the game.
Right.
At the beginning of the game, there's a lot of times where it wouldn't matter if you had immunity or not. Sometimes, obviously, it matters a lot in the beginning of the game because
Do you
you
think-
could be a target. But when you know you're not a target, immunity is one of those things you can take a pass on, especially if you're one of the players that just isn't as physically fit or isn't as ready.
I'm getting
you
to
know.
that. Do you think maybe because Joe is 71 years
Yeah,
old? Do you
yeah.
think maybe we might see some type of immunity challenge where it's flipping up objects and you have to show me the
It could
order?
be. I think it's too late for that.
You
We're in
do?
physical challenges at this point. It could happen. We could see a memorization like we did sort of today if we're going to shift into
Right.
immunity. But
Yeah.
Michelle really did nail that.
I
Me
think
and
if
props
Joe,
to
I think-
Michelle
I-
on that
I
one.
think
That
if
was
Joe's
amazing.
gonna have a
Unbelievable.
chance.
It was unbelievable.
that
She
was-
did
I mean-
great.
I mean,
Michelle
like,
that
and
was pretty
Julia.
awesome.
Lance and I were thinking,
Yeah.
Charlie, like split the moon, split the
Yeah.
oval,
Yeah.
right? Like take the top half or the one half east and west, or take north and
But
south.
maybe you did have. It's
You
such a
know.
long journey out there. Maybe
Right.
you're going. I'm
It
going to
is.
memorize.
Joe
every single-
got over that obstacle in the water. He already forgot everything that he remembered,
Yep.
there, and he got to
Yep.
that thing, and he was
done.
Then writing in the sand, I mean.
That was smart.
She just nailed it today. She nailed it. I thought maybe Julia
really
would
did,
catch
yeah.
up to her, but Michelle really did nail it today. Unbelievable.
I thought
showing.
for a second Jason may actually get something there, but he was torquing that key and that lock was not opening.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
I think
just
he
not,
broke it
not-
off and
yeah.
it was stuck in there.
Yeah, not gonna happen,
Well,
buddy.
we had two people that did get it on the first try.
Yeah,
Julia
yeah, no.
and Michelle.
Shocking, I thought.
And then they were digging. You knew at that point, they're one of those are going to win it.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
not going to
yeah.
be able to swim all the way out
No.
there. Memorize that. So you knew it was just down to two.
Yeah.
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 So I guess you just come up with one word,
Blindside
blind
it.
or side, and you go, oh, there's the other one.
There it is.
If
Yeah.
you
As
see
soon
the
as,
word,
right. She saw side, I think, and she put together blind side. She saw it. She put the B down, and she's like, "Yep, there it is."
Did Jeff
Put 'em all
hint at
across.
that? Did Jeff hint at that before?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think.
Did
I don't
he
think
say
he
anything
did.
about like this whole season has been about blind sides?
Well, he did say
or
that.
Did he say
he
that?
did. He did say
later?
that, but I think did he say that at tribal possibly?
I think
Or did he
either
say
a
it-
tribal or
he
he
did
said
say-
it at
he did
immunity
say
or
it.
something.
Maybe he said it at
blindsided.
the
He said it for
reward.
sure.
He
at
did
the
say
reward
it at the reward.
He said it at the reward.
He did say it at the reward.
Okay, so he did
He
hint
said,
to it, really.
He
Yeah.
said, with the
Yeah.
season being all about blindsides, now you have to work together as partners. I
Right.
think that's when it was. You're right, Doug. I think you're
Yeah.
wow,
He
very,
did mention it, but I mean, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
irony or is it coincidence?
Maybe I just made that entire thing up.
It could be. I mean, we could be watching it.
Well, we
over.
don't-
That's
yeah,
what
we don't know
Survivor Nation
exactly.
is for. They
Well-
got to figure that out for us. You know
Right.
what I mean, but
Well,
I
set
think
us
you're
straight in the comments
I
section.
think you're on. I think you're on about. He did say blindside.
I think you're right.
He said something about alliances being wishy-washy in the game, and there's been so many blindsides.
He did say that.
something.
Yeah, he definitely
and
did
I think
say.
he said it during the reward.
Yeah.
you know.
So I think you're right.
Okay.
I think we're both right.
Okay. So Michelle, she gets it.
Michelle
she,
wins.
She wins the immunity, right? She gets it.
Big
And then we get
necklace.
back to the island, or get back to camp, and
Yes.
then we see what Jason and Julia are going to plan.
Yeah, but
and-
they're by themselves, and the other 5
The
are
other-
chilling. And then, Sydney. I think Sydney was trying to
She
get
messed
Ty
up a
to
little.
play. I think
She
she was
messed up a
trying.
little.
I think she didn't mess up. I think she was trying to get Ty to play that idol because she went to Michelle, or we go with the Ty plan in front of everybody. And I think she said that just to float out the idea to make Ty worry a little.
Oh yeah.
Well,
She
yeah,
said
she-
that
in the
in front
group
of
of five.
everybody.
She told Michelle.
Right
Yeah,
when they
she
said
told
that.
Michelle.
Yeah.
She's because Michelle said, "Well, what am I going to tell him
Yeah.
if they start asking me? Well, just say you're voting for Ty."
Yeah. Say we're going with the tie plan.
Oh, is that what she was referring to in front of everybody? I thought they
Yeah,
were talking,
yeah.
right? All 5 of them were together, and she's like, we go with the Ty plan. And Ty goes, I don't like to hear my name.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't like to hear my name
Yeah.
at all. I
don't
want
like
to hear
to hear my
Mark's
name.
name.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, okay, she might be. I don't think that was a mistake. I think she
might not
wanted
have
to
been.
get Ty to flush that idol
I
and
don't.
get
I
him
don't
to play it.
I
I
think
mean, that's
that was
definitely
a mistake by her.
It's definitely something they're looking to try and do is get that idol out of there because they know that Ty's chances are.
You think
are
she was
great.
trying to flush it out?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. You don't mention
Could
that
be,
in a
could
huge
be.
crowd. If it was by accident and it was a huge blunder, but you say something like that one-on-one. You don't say it in front of 5 people, including the person with the idol. You don't say, well, we're going to vote. Well, we can go with the Ty plan. Well, what is she thinking at that point? Oh, Ty's standing right here. Let me just blurt out his name. No, she's thinking it like, I want to make him worried a little bit. I want to, get him on his toes
Well,
a
maybe-
little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe they already mentioned. Well, Julia and Jason are definitely voting for Ty. So those are 2 people voting for Ty. So when they tell you, I don't know. Maybe she said go with the Ty plan, like they said.
I think
Yeah,
it was a great
yeah.
idea. Whether she did it by accident or not, it was an awesome move because he almost played it.
Yeah.
And then he asked Aubrey at Tribal, which is the worst person to ask.
She
She's not
should've-
in the
Well,
loop.
it's amazing that right. I mean, it's amazing that he.
It's amazing-
He even asked her, and then
And then not do it.
comes to the final tribal. When the votes are counted, and he actually doesn't play it. I was really surprised that he didn't play it, and I really thought that there was a real great chance he'd be going home.
I'll
Like-
tell you what. I was sweating
really
bullets for him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought he
well,
was
you got
going
money riding on that dude, but
Home. Well, I picked. I
was
picked
he's
him
got
at
the
the
same
beginning.
face. He has the same
Yeah.
face in Crunch Time. The deer in the headlights, like, like, what do I do? Like, should I play it
Well,
or not?
that
Like, he
guarantees-
he doesn't even have anything
Yeah.
to say.
Could
He
we
does.
say it definitely guarantees him final 4? I wouldn't go as
Yes.
far to say final 3. We
Yes,
got
he
6,
gets
Yeah.
final
We got
4.
6
Yeah.
people left.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got to play the idol or use the extra vote the next 2 episodes because
Use
he's got 2 keys. And he also, Charlie, with the extra
Having the
with
extra
the
vote.
extra vote, he could play the idol, right? Save himself, and
Yeah.
then also play the extra vote at the same time and save someone that he wishes to stay. That might be
That
a
could
little
be a
far-fetched, but
possibility.
that's also a possibility.
Yeah.
I think that's very far fetched.
It's a good idea that he saves the extra vote till after the idol. I think that's kind of a crucial plan
Yeah.
because if you use your extra vote too soon, it could backfire on you. There could be more numbers against you. You want those numbers to be as low as possible.
Good point. Yep.
And so as long as those numbers are as low as possible, and it's going to be within the next, it's going to be 5. The number is going to be 5 where he can, play the idol at where they're at and move on from there.
Plus, Charlie, nobody knows what he's got.
And right, so they're all wondering too.
Right.
Well, they know he's got an
What could it
advantage.
be?
Yeah, but that could be anything.
He's got an
like
advantage,
a
right?
step to skip in a reward challenge or immunity.
They might
challenge,
believe that his advantage is to play his idol that he has after the votes are red. I mean, they
It
could
could
they
be,
could
it
believe
could be a number of things.
they could believe. Yeah, I mean, they
Or
could
to
believe a
save
number
Mark.
of things.
You never know.
We haven't.
Right.
We really.
Yeah,
excuse
no
me.
one's allowed to eat Mark.
Yeah, you could.
We
save
really
Mark.
haven't heard. It's Mark's immunity.
It's $1 million cock.
It's Mark's
Hashtag.
immunity idol.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It
That
don't
was
even
just so funny.
it don't even belong to Ty. It really is Mark's idol at this point.
What I was going to say is, we really haven't seen them. Them, when I say them, the group talking about. Well, what do you think that idol is, or what do you think that special?
We haven't. No.
Yeah. So I mean, we really haven't seen them.
It's up for speculation.
Yeah, it
speculate
is.
on what that advantage is. Nobody's really discussed it.
I thought it was funny too. They get into Ty and talking about the fact that Sidney had said whatever, and he's kind of going through his own game, and he's, as you said, English is not
His first language, right?
His first language at all, and he comes up, he's talking about dotting T's and crossing I's.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
I thought that was funny.
Should have
I
been a
thought that was funny.
hashtag.
Yeah, that should have been a
I
hashtag.
always dot my T's.
I cross my eyes.
It was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that.
Cross my eyes and dot my ties.
Oh, whatever. Oh, whatever.
or whatever that saying is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so pay my
Yeah.
Your food be
order.
ready in 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. You had to go there, huh? The General Souse route, huh?
So I
Love
like
it.
too also
Number
how
21.
Jeff brings in the fact that he's like, fear has entered the game now,
Yeah.
and it kind of it almost seemed like that statement kind of swept over the tribe as an important fact that we got to be careful not to make mistakes because of our emotional play in this game.
Right,
I mean,
right.
there's always that reminder. And Jeff always plays. He's always a big part of the game.
Yeah, he
He's
won
al-
an Emmy for this.
He's always a huge part of the game. I mean, if it was anybody else and they weren't, directing as Jeff does, if the players are really, in the game with Jeff as a player,
Yeah.
it's to a certain extent, but Jeff can never lose.
Oh,
And that's the only difference. Where
It's the constant
a lot
variable.
of
I'll tell you
hosts.
Right after those votes,
He's a great host, though.
you're looking at Ty. They're showing Ty. They're showing Michelle. Michelle's just looking straight ahead. She's not looking at anybody. And you're going, she just backstabbed him.
Oh,
she
yeah.
She stabbed him, and she got sit. I mean, I'm sweating bullets for that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, well, before we move on, the immunity challenge, if anybody
Right.
noticed, they had that stick, or the reward challenge, they had that stick, and they had to bring down something. Did
Right.
it remind you a little bit about trying to get that idol from the
Out of the
stick
tree?
out of the
Yeah.
tree? I
Yeah.
thought that was very cool. I thought that
was.
was very
Yeah.
cool. I just
Yeah.
wanted to put that in there. I
Unfortunately,
thought that was
it
neat.
wasn't that
It
big of an
didn't.
advantage for
Nah,
Ty.
No, it
yeah,
wasn't. It
unfortunately.
wasn't.
He had
yeah.
Joe with him.
Yeah. I mean, but
Hey, I'll tell you what though. Speaking of Joe, when they were throwing rings, Joe was
yeah, he stepped it up a little
he
bit.
did.
He tossed
had
the
a nice
rings.
little
I mean,
toss.
you
He-
thought Lance looked
did
at me
the
and he
rings.
goes, "Sydney, she's gonna do terrible. She's
Sydney,
gonna do terrible."
We saw her throw a ball before.
That's
the girl
true.
couldn't throw a ball,
That's
but
true.
she could toss a ring.
She can
I
toss
was-
rings.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
Pleasantly,
she
yeah.
can toss
I don't
a
know
ring.
about pleasantly, but I was
Right,
surprised.
yeah.
I mean,
that
she's
she could
looking
toss a
pretty
ring.
good out there. She's looking pretty good. She's losing the weight and looking real good.
Who?
All the chicks. Sydney, she's looking
All of
great.
them, yeah. All of them really
Aubrey
do, yeah.
looks. Aubrey is.
No, get out of here.
Get out of here. She has looked better and
You
better.
get out of here.
She definitely has looked better and better.
You're
She's like
kidding
that.
me.
She's
No.
like that nerd that's finally getting a little cuter as she gets older, type of thing.
With way
Yeah.
more left
You know,
to go. I mean,
right.
she needs another 30
You're
days.
crazy.
she needs another 30
I mean,
days.
goodness
you
gracious.
are crazy.
Give her another couple months. She'll be
yeah,
looking
a couple
fine.
more months,
Listen,
please.
You give me Aubrey
needs-
and $1 million, and I'll be set for life.
and Mark.
And Mark, don't forget
Hey,
about
don't
Mark.
forget the cock.
You're gonna need that.
Hey, listen.
Don't forget it.
We see Aubrey crying in the next
Oh
episode.
God,
which,
another
yes.
crier,
which,
folks.
we're gonna get into episode 12 here next
Oh
week.
Folks.
goodness.
And
Doug cannot stand criers.
I cannot
That's
stand
one
them.
thing-
Just
What's the one
Oh,
thing you can't stand, Doug?
God, criers.
keep them
Liars,
criers.
liars, and criers.
Yeah.
Keep out the liars and criers.
God, Survivor Nation should agree with me on that. Every time they cry with the letters, loved ones, just a waste of an episode. Get them out of here. Who goes for the reward with the letters? It's a waste. Just stop crying. There's no crying in Survivor. There's no crying in Survivor.
39 days is not an eternity.
No,
folks.
it's not.
It's not.
And you're going to get home and be like,
time.
why was I so sick of
right.
you? You know, why was I so missing you? You know, I'm sick of you now. You know, it's just.
Where's your bandana?
Oh, I am missing my bandana. It's in the truck. Oh, sorry, Survivor Nation. Wow, you got to call me out on that,
Are
man.
you kidding me?
Damn. Wow. It was a weird episode.
We pulled this bum off the street, Chaz.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, crap,
Who the hell's
man.
this guy?
We all need to get him for the
We
the
did.
next season 33. We're
Oh,
gonna,
yeah.
We're gonna,
we'll
we're
look
gonna
like
all
a
need
bunch
him.
of nerds.
Oh, man.
We'll order him. Oh yeah.
All three of us will look like
Survivor
nerds.
You gotta
for
get
sure.
him. You gotta
Got
get
to.
him. I'm gonna
Got
get
to.
the
That
Jeff
was a dig.
Probst
It's a necessity
orange
at this
hat.
point.
That was a dig at you,
Yeah.
Doug.
Yeah, I know. You over here wearing sunglasses and a ponytail,
Hey.
40-something years old over there.
Hey, I'm cool.
And then you woke up.
Just chilling.
Goodness gracious. All right, so we lose Julia.
I'm 40.
Thank God.
I'm 40 plus years old, and I'm podcasting about Survivor.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
You're there. You
Yeah.
hit it.
You made it.
Hey,
You made it.
You
This
did.
is what life's
You
about,
made
man.
it.
It's
That's
awesome.
what it is. Excellent.
Give me a cool buzz, and I'll be just fine.
That's all you need.
Oh
You're
boy,
all right.
here we go.
Here it goes.
Oh man.
Some tasty waves, and I'm fine, man.
Stay tuned. After this episode, you get to watch Lance just talk about crap all night. It's 20 minutes, and then you get to watch
Speaking
Survivor.
of
Yeah,
crap,
yeah.
speaking of crap, after this whole Survivor thing's over, we're going to be having some
Well, that's
political
not crap.
debates.
That's
Yeah.
not crap. That's
We'll be
legit.
coming. Yeah, we'll be coming into
political
our regular.
season.
Yeah, our regular operating podcast specials is
It'll be
far as-
awesome. It'll be awesome.
yeah,
So-
NBA
good.
finals.
It'll be good.
Who we
We're gonna have
losing?
some good
Who we
stuff.
losing next week? What's going on?
Next week.
Yeah, Julia's out now. We got six. We have at least 2 episodes, right? Do we have at least 2?
We got 2 episodes.
All
we
right,
got
so-
2. We got
so-
2 more at least.
So
And we do have, we also, just to mention, we got Neil, Nick, Debbie, Scott, and Julia now.
nice.
Those are the jury members so far. So that's an important thing to know, though,
Boy,
too,
I'd love to
because,
see. If
it's funny to think about where people like Julia and Scott are going to fall as jury members,
I'll
because
tell you what.
Nick-
Now's the time for Julia, or for Aubrey to go up to Jason and say, "Hey, I see Sydney's cracking. I can't take her with me. It's time for you to jump on board." And
we don't know that she's not going to
Aubrey-
say that
yeah,
even next
Aubrey
episode.
could.
That's almost a possibility. I mean,
It
I
could
can
be.
see the cracks opening up as we get closer to the game.
When-
It's anybody's game at this point, and
It's a great.
it's
game.
going to be
I'll tell you
a,
what.
a
When
real
your
big deal.
when your alliance starts coming to you and starts going, "Hey, what if we do this?" and it starts going against your heart, you're like, "Ugh, I
yeah.
got to cut you loose."
I mean, Michelle,
I'm
she was
not-
crying tonight, and we had to cry her again.
Again.
God, dang it. She was crying, and she hugged Julia,
Crying
but she
again.
voted for him.
Well, she had.
She
to.
might have forgotten how to spell Ty, but she voted for Julia.
She
that's
had
for
to.
sure.
Yeah.
She had to vote
Yeah.
Julia.
I mean,
right
she
now.
voted for Julia, and she hugged her, and she said,
Michelle's
"You
got
know,
a good
that goes
chance of
against
winning
my
this
rule
game, too.
If you usually watch Survivor, the people who vote you out never look you in the eye. This chick completely defied me, and she actually got up and hugged the chick she voted for.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Unbelievable move.
No kidding.
Wow.
That was her ally the entire game.
Yeah, that was big.
Those she watched her flip flop the entire game.
Julia could vote for her too. Julia would vote for Michelle, I think, too.
Oh,
Could
yeah.
vote her
I'm
out.
I don't know
sure.
if they were really
I'm sure.
allies, other than
They
just
were
being
close.
stuck on
They-
the same
yeah, they-
tribe for
yeah.
28 days.
Everybody who does that while you put your torch out is giving you a hug while the torch is going out. That's
Right,
big,
right.
man.
And they were close when Scott
Well,
and Ty and
Ty
Jason
told-
were all together, and they
Ty
pulled
told
those
Scott,
two in. They
"I'm
pulled
sorry."
those two in. They were real tight at that time.
yeah.
And that's when Michelle and
The only
Julia really
difference
made their
is
bond.
the only difference is she got up and gave her a hug. Ty's did almost the exact same thing when he voted Scott out last week. He looked at him and said, "I'm sorry, I can't give you the idol.
Yeah.
Keep it for
Well, he
myself."
didn't. He had to look at him. But what did he actually say at first?
Sorry.
Nothing. He
goes,
just looked at
"No."
He just looked at him and was like,
Yeah, he's the same face.
I'm
the
sorry,
Ty
I
face.
can't.
no,
The Ty face, you know, it's just
straight like, no, it's not going to
no
happen.
idea. Scott looking
real.
fly today with that top button, the Mexican look with the top button.
Oh, yeah,
The
all the way
cholo-
up.
The cholo look.
with
yeah.
with no tie or nothing, just
All the
sport.
way.
The
hat.
East LA
Yeah.
cholo look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
right.
good, right?
What's up, home?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Who's going home then, Lance, next week?
Yeah, we really need to
okay.
narrow
Lay it
this
down.
one
Lay it.
down.
I want to hear a name right now.
Jason.
Jason.
You
Wow.
think Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I mean,
Girls
Jason,
are thinking we got to get rid of Jason.
Jason could very well be going home next week, and it wouldn't be a surprise to me either if he did. You never know what's going to happen, though. You could see, and the only reason I say is because anybody would think, oh yeah, it's Jason for sure. But also the other thing is too, you look at somebody like Joe, and people are going to have, they're going to feel bad when that guy goes home. That's all there is to it. They're going to feel bad for him, and that could lead to some crying right there.
Why are you going to feel
Oh
bad?
God.
You think somebody's going to say, well, he might get a lot of votes because he's 71?
It's hard to say. I mean, you never
Maybe.
know what's going to happen.
He's had his time to make the money. Let him
Listen,
go.
I'll tell you what. If he was
And
going
I-
to win the $1 million, he would have gotten some FaceTime on this episode. There's only there were 7 people there,
Yeah,
and 6 of them got a lot of FaceTime.
Well, as I was saying, though, you got to remember, the immunity challenge is there for a reason, and that's what really drives the game forward and separates the people. And when you got somebody like Jason winning immunity next week, who knows? Don't know. But if he does, then who are they going to vote out? They're going to go. They're going to go for the weakest player. They're going to say, "Well, let's just get Joe out.
Aubrey's dangerous.
Let's just go Joe, because Ty is going to play his idol, and he's Jason, and that means one of us is going to go home.
If I was Jason, I'd say I want to get rid of Ty. Well, I can't vote Ty because he's got his idol, so I'm going to aim after Aubrey.
Yes, I think Aubrey's going. That's my pick next week.
Aubrey
goes.
Think Aubrey on.
Yeah, there's no way she's winning immunity, and she's crying, all that crap. She's going down.
Yeah, she's carrying around bad mojo just by crying.
Bad
Just
mojo, big time.
It's not going to do her well.
I'm going to miss her like a hemorrhoid.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, that bad. Gonna need a lot of cream to get rid of that one. Goodness.
Well, Chaz, who do you think?
Well, I'm honestly
Any predictions?
I'm honestly going to go with Jason as well. I don't really know that he
Could've
can.
won.
I really don't know that he can win immunity, though. That's the thing. But if he does, it's going to be that's going to be a whole nother game.
Oh, sure.
But his skill at the challenges, when it comes to puzzles and things of that nature, I don't think he's really on top of his game. It's hard to say. It could
Physical, I think he's
it could either be somebody
terrible.
like Jason, or it can either be somebody like Joe. Because I don't think, like I said, if Jason does win immunity, Joe could go home just for the simple fact that everybody knows kind
the
of.
girls can't decide on
Well, the
which
girls
one
aren't
to
going to
get
be able to
rid of.
decide. Ty's got the idol. They know if they vote for Ty and he uses the idol, that whoever Jason and
decides.
Ty voted for, that's who's going home. It's going to be one of the girls. Probably not going to be Joe, because nobody's looking at Joe as a threat. But when you're forced to vote for somebody out of fear,
Right.
and that's where we're kind of ending off here, just like Jeff said, fear has entered the game. Nobody's really going to know what's going on with everybody, as far as, we're down to the nitty-gritty. These
We're
are the last
scrambling.
few.
This is great.
So it's getting good. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's been good the last few episodes here. It's really
Honestly, it's anybody's game.
It's really gotten to the climax. And
Everything
it is.
you've built the whole
Don't you think?
season
It's
is
all-
crumbled. It's
it's all-
all a new game.
Right, it is. It becomes a new game.
It's anybody's
the
game.
things fall apart.
Yep.
It's going to be. And this will be.
And honestly, I really think if it could be anybody's game, just by the simple fact of Joe and somebody else. And if you get somebody that you're a slicker, if you can talk a little, you can talk your game a little bit better than them. You can sell your game a little bit better. You might win.
Yeah,
You still got to get there.
Yeah.
You still got to get
Gotta
there.
get there.
You got to get there, right?
There's only 3. There's only 3 spots. And I swear
Like
to
I
God,
said, you got to say why I deserve $1 million. Not my boohoo story that I just came over on a boat and I survived this and that and the other thing. Hey, well, that's wonderful. Good for you. I'm glad you survived. Now you live in America. You're having a wonderful life in San Francisco.
here's
but you
my
know
tax
what?
dollars.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what? I should win $1 million because I played a better game than you. I survived without without this and without that and without all these
Yep.
special awards
Yep.
and immunities. And I stuck around, and I might have been high at one time, but once I lost my guy Scott, again, I'm assuming that Jason goes.
No, right.
Just because
right.
of he did get a lot of FaceTime in Tribal tonight, and he was a real slick talker when he was there.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just really sold himself, and he really made Ty look
Like
a
a
bad
villain.
guy. He
Yeah,
did. He made
he
Ty
did.
look like the villain.
Yeah.
You know, but we can't forget.
I'm
and
afraid.
I swear to God.
I'm afraid for my little Asian lover.
Yeah, I know.
That's
you
what I'm
love
afraid
him.
of.
Yeah. Well, don't forget Mark. But I swear to God, if Survivor does the whole thing where they have 3 people left and we do the whole recap of the season where they go to each person's torch, we've avoided that the past 2
We have.
seasons. If
We
we
have.
do
2,
that
we've
this
avoided
season,
that 10 seasons. Though.
no. It's
I
been
haven't seen
two or 3 seasons. If we
10.
get that, please just don't do that to me.
Yeah, it's only been a couple.
Just
it's
don't
only been
do
a couple.
that to
They've
me,
been.
please.
I
They've
haven't
been
seen that in 10 seasons.
No, 10 seasons?
Yeah,
maybe
at least 5
maybe
years.
maybe
No.
3 or 4.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
it's-
that in a time.
Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, they got
No.
rid of it because I started emailing
Yeah.
them like 50 times a day. So
Maybe.
get rid of that crap.
Well, you did it 5 years
and they
ago.
they honored your voice in that decision.
Thank God.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that gets a little lame at the end there.
I was
just
getting
walking
FaceTime
around,
with
getting-
Jeff.
No, they
He was
haven't done
talking
that.
about
Right.
FaceTime.
Dude, they
I was
haven't
getting
done that in a
FaceTime
long
with Jeff.
time. You're high.
No, I'm not high. You're high.
So
I am
we'll,
high,
we'll
but
be
telling you, it's been
be up
5
in
years.
we'll be up into
Look it
episode
up.
12 next week.
Yes.
Listen, see if one of our fans will look that up and let us know. When was the
Yes.
last
Let us
time
know.
they
Yeah,
showed
don't be
that?
Don't be afraid to comment.
Because
Right.
obviously,
let us know.
I don't
where
have
we're
any
wrong.
computer
Prove this
where we can
bozo
improve.
wrong over here.
Yeah.
Prove him wrong,
Yeah.
Survivor Nation.
That's it.
prove one of
Let
these
'em know.
bozos wrong.
Let 'em know.
I
How
don't
about
know.
that?
Who are you talking about?
So yeah, we'll be up into episode 12. It's going to be interesting because what do we got left now? We got the 6 people left now,
Yes.
Right.
and so we're going to be at the 5, and I would assume with 5 people left, that could easily be the last episode.
We got
They
2
could-
episodes.
They could draw
Right.
We could have We have the final.
We'll have 2 episodes.
We get rid of the 6. We get down to 5. We'll
Boom,
have
boom.
that episode right there. We'll get rid of 2 people. We'll be at the 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then
It'll be a 2-hour
where
episode.
this
We
where
got
this
3
game,
hours left.
Where this game it really does.
This is exciting.
It really does. You haven't outlasted everybody until you've sat down in your final chair to see who is actually won. That's really when you found out how you outlasted, because the jury ultimately has the decision on who won.
Right.
And you see
That's
it-
gonna
you-
be a
you
big
can
part
see
of the
it-
game.
You see it go 2 ways. People are going to sometimes go with the person that actually played the game hardest, actually, whether you backstab people or whatever. And then you're going to have players also that, as far as the jury's concerned, that said, I voted for this person because I like them. That's why.
The
you know.
dumbest vote ever.
And
Right.
we're going to see that, and that's where you really.
You might see a couple, but I think for the most part,
that's where Survivor is such a cool game, because you really haven't outlasted everybody
I think
until
for the
that
most
final
part, everybody that
until
plays
final
Survivor
vote.
now, everybody that plays Survivor now, puts aside their, the fact that they got blindsided or backstabbed by one of those final 3 people. I think they put those things aside and,
No.
they really
It
look
didn't
at
happen last season when Jeremy won.
I agree.
Jeremy won on pure sob story.
Yep.
Give me a break.
Yep, I think so
That
too.
dude played
Yeah.
a shabby game.
who should have won.
He wasn't bad. I mean, but he could have.
Who should have won? Who was
Well,
who was he up against?
I
That's a
remember
good
talking
question.
to you about the dude, but I don't remember his name. But the dude, I remember saying he should have won. And I was telling Bob, too. I remember telling you.
I remember thinking
if you
that
go
somebody
back
else
to
should
our
have won,
last
too.
episode, I'm guarantee you I was saying something about the other guy should have been winning.
Right.
Because he played a game, even though he pissed off some people.
Oh,
Jeremy just won because it was he had a sob story, but this other dude had another sob story too. He had another one where he should have said, "I got 2 kids," or
Right.
I did
can't-
this.
He could have
and
sold
that.
it a little different. I remember it being like kind of. Oh, it was what's his name? Not Carter, but what's that kid's name? That's who it was.
Oh, with the loans and
Spencer.
Spencer
That's who it was.
definitely could have played the whole
Yeah.
student
But
loans.
he messed up.
and
Oh,
I
he
got
messed
no-
up.
Spencer should have won.
He messed
he
up.
played
All
a better
this
game
money.
than Jeremy.
He got
Yeah.
mad. He got mad and said something. That's
Yeah.
kind of where
He
his game
did
went
play
wrong
a way better game
last
than
season,
Jeremy.
but
Way better.
he
Yeah,
blew it
no,
at the end.
absolutely. Yeah, he
If
blew it at the
people are
end by
voting-
saying something stupid.
Yeah.
No, so
and
you're
remember that?
completely
Kinda pissed
wrong.
everybody
Remember
off.
that?
Yes, I do, but you're completely
Yeah.
wrong if you think the jury is going to strictly vote on merit of the game. They're
Yeah, they
definitely going to
definitely
vote
don't.
on emotions and feelings, and
Without
that's
a doubt.
why you come in with a great speech to sway that crap.
Yeah, okay.
And
All
you
right.
really,
You're
you
right.
really do need
I
to come
digress.
into it.
I'm wrong.
Good, digress
right.
all the way.
So we'll be.
I'm wrong. You're right.
We'll be here next week, folks, and give us the comments. don't forget to subscribe. I mean, just hit the button.
We want to hear
It's
you.
right there.
We
right
wanna hear
there
ya.
on the screen.
That way you
Yes.
can follow. And we're not
Right
not
there.
quitting anytime soon. We're not. We're not quitting
going
anytime soon.
anywhere.
We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here throughout the summer, not just with Survivor stuff, but many others. And we've still not moved the studio, but we're making
We're slow.
we're making
on
it
that.
out there. We're making it out there. It'll be good.
Yeah.
So join us next week, folks. It'll be episode 12. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you later.
Out.